Hey everybody, Rick here again. I am joined by my lovely wife Bridget this time, who was on the previous two videos, was my producer, director, and my video person. So say hello, Bridget.
Hello, Bridget.
And that is my wife. Welcome to Bridget's world. All right, guys, we are first time gate guarders. We just finished our first 4 months. This is kind of a wrap up video. We're going to provide y'all with thoughts on what we thought of gate guarding, the good, the bad, whatever the case may be. Things that we're glad that we did, things that we would do different next time, if anything at all. So we're going to get on with the video now. First things first, guys, we're going to start with J&G Securities. I can't say enough about these guys. If you are thinking about getting into gate guarding, I would highly suggest J&G Security. The support you get in the field is phenomenal. When you're in the middle of nowhere, like you are, and you get the support from them, and as you'll see in a second why I'm saying you get the support, you will know what I'm talking about, and you'll know why we endorse them so much. I'm going to start at the top with Justin, the general manager. From the very first time I called him to every time I've called him after that, if he didn't answer the phone, it's because he was on that line talking to somebody else, and as soon as he's done, he called me right back. Every answer, every question I had was answered. Every problem in the field, he took care of. Bridget called him.
I had a couple of issues. He answered them right then. If it wasn't something he could answer immediately, he got right back to us.
So, I mean, when you're in the middle of nowhere, you can't ask for more than that, particularly. And this is the general manager we're talking about here. Next, we're going to talk about Super Jess. I'm just going to call her Super Jess right now because there is not a pedestal high enough to put this girl on. I'm here to tell you, from the first time we talked to her till the time we met her, till the time we got out to the gate, anytime we had issues, her just calling to check up on us, text on us, how you guys doing? There is not anything that she will not do for you. She will go out of her way to help you. Being the recruiting officer and information officer, she has got that position covered. I'm here to tell you. We copied her on any of the emails that we had with Justin. If he was busy, she would start on them to make sure that things got taken care of in a timely manner. You can't say enough about Jess. I mean, she is a pleasure to work for, and if any of those of y'all that are working for J&G, you'll know what I'm talking about. Those of y'all that are thinking about working for J&G, you're in for a treat. Next, we're going to go on to the maintenance guys. We're going to start at the top with Sergio. Sergio, I'm here to tell you, I had to call this guy on 3 different Sundays, and who wants to be called on a Sunday at 3:30 in the afternoon with somebody saying the generator's gone out when all you want to do is spend time with your family? 4 hours later, that man had another generator out there for us. I mean, to tell you, these guys are awesome. Then we had Mark came out. Mark did a lot of our oil changes out there on our generator. Took the time to talk to us, make sure we had everything that we needed. When the generator went out, a guy named James came out. James did not have the belt, couldn't find the belt, spent the night, found the belt, and fixed that generator. These guys are willing to put in the hours and spend that kind of time. And when you're in the middle of nowhere and you are dependent on that generator and that utilities trailer being operational, and those guys go to work like that, you can't say enough. I mean, I can talk on these guys forever. Then it goes into the office. You got Miss Anna. We hear about so many people out in the field. We're not getting our pay. Our pay, we were paid every time on time. Miss Anna makes sure everything is taken care of. She emails us to let us know our invoices were received. Plus, she also puts continuing education in there, which is very, very valuable, basically with things that are going on at that time. So they will always be appreciated, all the continuing education, all the notes that went along with it. So now you know how we feel about J&G. We love them. We can't say enough. We look forward to working with them again. If you are even thinking about doing this, guys, even thinking about it in the last little bit, ask questions, do your due diligence.
Just look on the Facebook groups, join the Facebook groups, scroll through there, see what all the questions are, see what all the answers are. And it's all timely. So if someone has something going on immediately, it's posted on there and someone is discussing it very well.
Also, watch all the videos, guys. We can't stress that enough. I mean, I am not the end-all, tell-all on videos. I've only done it for 4 months. There are people out there who have been doing it for years. They have so much knowledge. Look at these videos. They will help you out. As she said, call your gate guard companies. They're looking for help. I am here to tell you now, they will help you in any way possible because they want you to come to work for them. Remember, number one, 24/7. Somebody's always on duty. Every time. Doesn't matter if somebody gets sick, you get a cold, you get a cough, guess what? They're working.
You still got to get out there and
You're
work.
still got to be out there working. Yep. If the weather gets bad, rains on, slicker suit goes on, slicker boots goes on, and guess what?
You're outside working.
You're outside working. Thank you very much. Wind's blowing 60 miles an hour and you can't see.
You're out there working.
You're out there working. Thank you, Bridget. Can't say it enough. So keep that in mind. It's always, the oil field never stops. Think about this. Nothing stops in the oil field. The show will always go on, and it always does, and it always will. So keep that in mind. The oil field is not something that's going to stop for anybody. So you have to be there to do the job that you're being paid for. Now, also be prepared for isolation. We in the middle of nowhere. You are out there. You are isolated from everybody. You might be 5 miles from town, but it takes you 30 minutes to get there. That's isolation to me. You are working the same hours, sleeping the same hours, eating the same time every single day. You are like a machine. It is the same thing every day. So Bridget has something she wants to say about the isolation.
It does take a couple of weeks to get used to it, to get your body into that rhythm, but I never felt unsafe. You'd see the guys would check on you if it was bad weather or if there were sirens going off. They'd say, hey, this is what's going on. And you never felt ill at ease or unsafe.
And that's a good thing, because I will say they always checked up on us. They would call. They would send out all the time. Do y'all need water? Do you need Gatorade? Always checking up on us. You can't go wrong there. So make sure, this is the next thing, make sure, since you have to work 24/7, that your hours are beneficial for each person working their hours. For instance, if somebody's working a 12-hour shift and they're in the heat of the day, and they're also at the busiest part of the shift, and they're having to log in 150 or 200 vehicles in their 12 hours, that ain't right. The next person coming up, they're working 12 hours, sun's going down, they're in the cooler weather, they only get maybe 50 cars in 12 hours. Something ain't fair right there. Something is going to happen sooner or later. Somebody's going to get mad and feelings are going to get hurt. Make sure it's beneficial so everybody's pulling the same weight on these loads. Bridget and I did 6s and 6s, and the reason we did 6s and 6s.
So we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. But, pardon me, cough. Next year we'll change it up a little bit because I always felt like I needed 1 more hour of sleep.
Yeah, I mean, the 6s were great. They were great for me. I always got like 4.5 on one and I got 3 on the other. So I was always doing 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep, but it was broken up. So yeah, she's right. I always feel like you need a little bit more. So we're going to do 8, 8, and 8 next year, where one sleeps, one works, one sleeps, one works, and then we're both on together. And we can share time to say, okay, she didn't get much sleep. I'm going to give her a couple more hours sleep. Then I'm going to run to town and I'm going to go do some grocery shopping and stuff. So we'll try splitting it up like that to see if it works better for us. The 6s were great, but we'll see if the 8 gives us the little extra sleep that we need. Being that we're talking about the sleep and stuff, cherish your time off. That's why we've said before in some of the other videos, be prepared, stock up, do the things you need to do. You do not want your 8 hours off to spend 6 hours of your time going to the store, going to the pharmacy, trudging around Walmart, trudging around Albertsons, Kroger, whatever store you go to.
Doing laundry.
And having to do laundry and all that other stuff. Then all of a sudden you got to go work 8 more hours. That's why your time is precious. So on that aspect, we're going to give you one of the tips we did to help save time. We did meal prep. On Sundays, we got the slow cooker out. We cooked everything from goulash to beef stews to soups, pastas. And I'm going to offend an awful lot of the barbecue gods in Texas right now, because we did ribs in the slow cooker. I know there's a bunch of y'all just said, get a rope, and I completely understand. But that was 8 hours. I didn't have to stand over my little cooker out here to cook those ribs and make sure they were perfect. 8 hours later, they were fall off the bone. We got 2 or 3 meals out of it. Very little cleanup. We were meal prep from then on. It's nice to have your meals. You get them out of the freezer, put them in there the night before, and then the next day, your meals are ready to go. You only have one dish you eat. You're not spending a lot of time cooking and cleaning. Think about that. That's just one tip from us right now. We are happy with everything that we did. And also all the stuff that we bought. The only thing different that we would do is what, Bridge?
Stock up more. If we're going to need it, we're going to use it, just buy it. Throw it in a cubby somewhere, behind a chair, wherever you need to put it. Just have it.
Yeah, I mean, anything from over-the-counter drugs. I mean, think about this. If you're working in the winter, cold and flu season, you're going to need cold and flu stuff. If it's in the spring, allergies are coming up. Everybody's got allergies and sinuses. Get that over-the-counter stuff now, because if you're going to that little pantry store that we had, I'm here to tell you, it might cost you $20, $22, $25 when you can go to Walmart and get it for $6. So stock up. If you think you're going to need it, get it. If it's something you like to eat, get it. You may not be able to find it at that pantry store. That is the one thing we regretted doing, was not stocking up more when we could have. So something to think about, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Now, last but not least, Bridget came up with something that she is going to tell you about.
It's a template to hand off to the person who takes over your gate. So that will list the contact for the sewer, the contact for the water, the contact for the diesel for your generator, and shows how much is in there, when they were last there, and how to get in touch with them. Also, where your nearest pharmacy, your nearest laundry, your nearest grocery store, propane refill,
Post office.
post office.
Yep.
Because just be kind to the people coming in behind you. It felt like we were abandoned whenever, after our 15 minutes, and all of a sudden we didn't know where the nearest laundromat was. Where did our trash go? Who was our water guy? Why was our septic almost all the way full? Who do we need to contact?
Yeah. Thank goodness, all of a sudden this guy pulls up, and thank God it happened the first day, because otherwise I might have panicked after that, and I know she would have. Guy pulls up and says, "Hey, my name's blah, blah, blah. I'm your water guy. I'm here every other day. Flag me down when you need water." It was like, whew, we got water. All right. Then a guy pulls up and he says, "Hey, I'm your septic guy. Here's my cell number. I'm going to go ahead and drain this thing for you now. Call me whenever you need it emptied, and I'll show up." There's 2 out of 3. I happen to take a nap. Guy pulls up, little old Mexican guy, super nice guy. Love the guy to death. I hope I get to see him again someday. Tells Bridget, he goes, "I'm your diesel guy. I'm here at least once a week. When you need diesel, flag me down. I will fill your tanks up for you." Boom. All of a sudden, we were covered and we felt a lot better about everything. But we're going to make it easier on the next people, as Bridget said.
Just be kind to the person behind you.
Yeah, remember, they're coming into a situation, particularly if you're a new one, like some of y'all are going to be out there.
Like we
And
were.
I'm here to tell you, that's a scary situation. You're in the middle of nowhere and you don't know where nothing's at.
And you don't know anyone.
You don't know any person. You don't know who's on the rig. You don't know anybody. You don't know who the managers are, nothing. So think about that. All right, guys. Our last and final tip to you guys is going to be, when you are done, you've completed this, you've done your tour of duty, so on, so that's what we're going to call it. Go somewhere that is nice, peaceful, and quiet for at least 2 weeks. Because I'm going to tell you now, it took your body 2 to 3 weeks to get used to the hours you're sleeping and the hours you're working and the things that you were doing. It's going to take at least 2 weeks to get back to what you would call your normal duties or your normal activities. Not only that, your rig is dusty. It is full. We were inundated with moss, so...
At 2 a.m., the door was opening. At 3 a.m., we were getting in and out. Every time you open that door, they're flittering inside, and you are inundated with moths. So you have to decontaminate your rig.
So basically, we spent 2.5 days nonstop cleaning. Then we spent time cleaning a couple hours every day, inside and out. We had to do all of our laundry, take all of our laundry out. Everything was dusty. Moths were in our clothes. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But we had to actually fog our rig because we just couldn't get rid of the moths. So you need that 2 weeks
to re-clean.
Yeah, you need to re-clean, readjust, reboot, get used to being a normal person again. And I use that term lightly.
Yeah.
All right, guys, here we go. This is something we need to talk about here. The benefits of gate guarding. There are quite a few benefits, and we're going to talk about what gate guarding did for us in particular right now. It allowed us to reboot and replan and to plan our future. I know a lot of y'all are thinking, well, you just got done saying you're a machine. You're up 24, you're working 24/7. How does it allow you to reboot? Well, what it does is everything's taken care of. You have your utility trailer. You don't have to worry about RV parks. You don't have to worry about traveling 8 hours to get to the next place you're supposed to be at. It allowed us to slow down, take the time, and think about the places we've been and things that we've missed, places we want to go back to, where we've been, where we haven't been, that we want to go to. So in my time, I would write things down. I would plan, like, let's take this trip here. I would show it to her. She would take her time. She would write it down. We would meet in the middle, have breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We would discuss this. And so after our 4 months, everywhere that we're going for the rest of this year, up until we come back to gate guarding, we're already reserved. We're already paid for. We're done. We have no worries.
No. It's the most carefree feeling in the world.
Very relaxing to know that this is all taken care of. I mean, it's allowed us that time that you wouldn't think that you have, but you have had, considering we were going 90 miles an hour when we started. So the second thing It met our financial expectations and goals. What I mean by that is when we wintered last year, Bridge and I was like, okay, let's see, how much money did we spend in 1 year traveling? We totaled it all up from the time we left till the time. Now, it might be a little skewed in some fashion because when we first retired, it was during the pandemic, diesel was approaching $6 a gallon.
Yeah.
It's not half of that now.
Yeah.
So our costs were a little extensive on the first time, but we knew how much we spent. In our little under 4 months that we worked, we made enough money to pay for our entire next year's travel completely. We don't have to touch savings, don't have to touch any of our investments, none of our retirements, nothing. We're ready to go. Everything is taken care of. That's a super, super feeling, guys. It gives you that financial freedom to be able to make enough money to do what you need to do for your life. Next, we've seen a lot of y'all on the Facebook groups. Where do I get insurance from? They don't provide health insurance. Where do I go? What do I do? Well, I'm going to say for right now, Bridget and I had to go to healthcare.gov. The reason being, we both have health issues from the past that we were turned down by every major company. That was our only option with healthcare.gov. So I am going to tell you this right now. It doesn't make sense, but stick with me for a second. If you have no income, you are paying the highest premiums. As you work, you develop credits from working. When you talk to your representative, she told me I needed to make X amount of dollar minimum, and this is the most I could make. And if I was in that frame right there, I would have enough credits to get me down to basically where my credits would offset my premium. $0. Y'all get that right now. Peace of mind for $0. That is part of the reason that Gate Guarding has provided us with health insurance on that aspect. We were able to work. We both have our health insurance. Mm-hmm. We got her down to where we don't owe anything. And it is a very, very nice situation. Peace of mind. Okay. It's the best option out there for right now, unless you want to pay. And if we would have been accepted by the big companies, we would have been paying 5 figures. So I think 0 over 5 figures, pretty nice.
For 4 months of our time
working. For 4 months of our time working. Not a bad trade-off. So basically, Gate Guarding, you get out of it what you put into it. Mm-hmm. We approached every day with a smile. We said hello to everybody. When somebody came up, if it's someone we knew and they were offered for 2 weeks and coming back, hey, welcome back. Glad to see you again. Glad you're safe. Hope you had a good 2 weeks. Go on in, get you some rest. We'll talk later. We got to know people by name. People would smile when they would come up, and when they would leave, the inconvenience of having to stop for 10 seconds was gone because we made them feel good about themselves for 5 minutes. We said hello. We tried to know their name. When their name pulled up on the tablet, we told them, thank you, Mike. You have a great day today. People enjoyed that, and we got out of it what we put into it. So for us, Gate Guarding was beneficial. We made a lot of friends. Mm-hmm. And it was just good for us all in all. We're outgoing people. We like talking to people. So it worked out really, really good for us.
One of us more than the other.
Well, one more than the other, as you can tell by this. I'm not letting her talk too much, but I will on the next ones, I promise. We will be back eventually, guys. We are going to come back to J&G as long as J&G will have us. We are meeting with them in October, correct? Mm-hmm. And when we come through in late October, we're on our way to winter in southern Utah. We're going to meet with them. And we're going to discuss the where, whens, and times and fashions and see where we can get in, because we have a schedule that we have next year that we have to meet, places we have to be for certain events in family. We all have family. You know how that goes. So we're looking forward to our sophomore season, and we want to tell everybody thanks for watching. If any of y'all have any comments,
just drop them in the comment area, and we'll do our best to get back to them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we try to look every other day or so. So it could be questions. It can just be thanks. You're doing a great job. Or, hey, your videos are terrible. You didn't talk about this. Let us know. It's the only way we learn. It's the only way we know what you people would want to see, because I tried to put this together based on what I was looking for and couldn't find. So I'm hoping that anybody out there, y'all got a little bit of information on. Hope Bridget and I provided you with anything that you need to do this.
Mm-hmm. That's all we could ask for.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for right there, guys. So what we're going to say is we're going to be safe. Be safe out there. Happy gate guarding. If you're going to be a gate guard, we look forward to you joining the crew, whatever gate guarding company you're with. Be safe out there. Check on everybody. The weathers are hot right now. Obviously, it's summer. It's in the hundreds. Check on people. It's like a little community out there. Everybody's like a little family. Take care of everybody. We like to think we're part of that family now. So until our sophomore season and our next video is coming up for our next year, we just have one thing to say to everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.